Welcome along to the Army List Analysis series, and today we are looking at the Anglo-Irish 1167 AD army with Irish 1131 AD allies. This army has quite a nice mix of infantry. We'll start off with the picked Irish foot. This unit is superior quality with heavy weapon, so against your standard defensive spear they're a plus 50 POA, so they have a good advantage, and obviously as well with their quality they're going to do better on the cohesion checks, although as medium foot they do get a little bit of a disadvantage against heavy foot, but overall they're just going to do better against your standard heavy foot. And we get two of those. We've also got some Ostmen. We've got 3 of those, and essentially they seem to me to be a slightly better version of the Irish foot. Even though the Irish foot are more expensive, they are medium foot. And so they have a heavy weapon, but so do the Ostmen, but the Ostmen are heavy foot. So really, it's nice to take out these guys because they're cheaper and they're probably better as well. You do have a fair bit of medium foot because the picked Irish foot, the Irish foot, and the Kerns all medium foot. So that in this build at the moment, that's about 8 units there. So any kind of rough ground, woodland, you're going to have an advantage there because you've just probably got more medium foot than your enemy. Saying that, we've still got 5 of the defensive spear, your standard units in most armies. Now, one thing I did have a look at, I had a look at the league, I had a look at the armies that people were using, and Oscarius is actually using this army. Now, at first, when I compared it to the Irish army with Anglo-Irish allies, you get more of the picked Irish foot with that army. You get 5. You get access to up to 5. We've only got 2 here. So I thought, that's a better army to take. But actually, probably overall, when you compare the lists, yes, that list you get more of the picked foot, but you get more bowmen here. I mean, you can max, up to 7 of the Welsh bow, and with that other list you only had 3 bowmen, so you're very, very limited with bow. And in the direction this game is heading with the new DLC and those new cavalry heavy armies, it's just going to be a bonus to be able to take out extra bow to fight those kind of armies, because your medium foot is probably not going to do well against mounted in the open. So overall, I think he's picked the right army, because also you get more of the Ostmen, you get, I think, about 1 more unit of those units, and you also get extra defensive spear. I think you only get 2 defensive spear with the Irish army, but with the Anglo-Irish army as your main army you get up to 5. So, and everything else is fairly similar, but I think overall extra defensive spear, extra Ostmen, extra archers, this is probably the better army. It's more balanced. We do have 2 knights, and we've just got some fairly standard cavalry. You're not going to win with your cav, but just to hold the line, help your infantry out. You've got noble cav that are superior quality, and sergeants are great units, and it's a pity we can only take 1, but they're armoured lancers. So fairly decent cav. We've got at the moment 4 of the longbowmen and 1 crossbowman, so that's a fair size. We can add to that, which is great. And we've also got quite a lot of the cheap skirmisher units, the 24 pointers, so that's another plus for this army. It just makes it more flexible, because when you look, I think as I've mentioned before in other videos, in terms of flexibility, what I always look for is, can I add more bow? Can I add more cav? Now, we can't really add more cav unless you go with the sergeants, knights and sergeants. We've got really nothing there. No mid-tier cheap end cavalry. But with the archers, if we took out one of the units of knights, if we took out one of the Irish foot, we can switch the light archer. This is where it's an advantage to have these 24 point skirmish units. It just means you can save points. Look, I'm trying to add some points here to take an extra infantry unit, and I can do that because I can take out my light archers. Saves me 6 points, gives me 1, 2, 2, and that means actually it was longbowmen I wanted. I can add 3 units. 3 units extra, so we've still got our skirmisher unit. It's just javelin men, and we've lost 1 unit of knights, 1 of the Irish foot, and we've got 3 longbowmen, which is a fair exchange. Extra unit. So cavalry heavy army, that gives us 8 units of archers, so plus 4 skirmishers. That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Also, what we could do, if we just go back to what we had, so go back to our knights and the Irish foot. If we took out the unit of knights and it was longbowmen, so if we took out unit of longbowmen, we could add 2 more Irish foot. So we've just taken out a unit of knights, a unit of the longbowmen, and we can add 2 more Irish foot, and we could add maybe some kerns. So we can add our infantry. Yeah, and that gives us about, I think it's about 19 infantry units now. That's a heck of a lot of infantry here. So yeah, maybe some players, depending on your enemy, depending on the map, maybe you want to take loads of infantry, and you can do that because we can take this Irish foot. You can even take another 2 there. So that's pretty good. This army is probably more of a kind of a swarming army. You're not going to win for your quality of your units. You're going to win by numbers, really. So you know, 19 infantry units. It's a decent size. What kind of rating am I going to give this army? Maybe about, it's going to be a B minus. maybe a B minus. I think I'm going to go B minus for the moment because of the medium foot. We've got so much medium foot. It's going to be at a disadvantage against heavy foot. We don't have tons of cav. Our superior quality units, we've only got 2. So really you're just going to have to rely on your archers, your skirmishers. Hopefully you can disrupt some enemy units before your main line goes in, because you're probably not going to match up against most armies with your infantry. You're just going to have to hope that your defensive spear, Osman kind of units, they can hold, and then you can maybe use your extra numbers to get around the enemy line. I think that's one of the main ways you're going to win with this kind of army. And it's possible because, you know, units like this, the defensive spear, they can do quite well against better units. So if they can hold, then you've got a chance to kind of use your swarming tactic. It's a pity as well that these picked Irish foot, that they're not some impact foot. They're just heavy weapon. So yeah, maybe about a B minus for me. Let's see how Oscarius does in the league. If you're playing against him, let us know. And if you played with this army before, maybe add some comments below. Let's see what happens. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again soon.